All right, everybody, it is travel day. We are out of here. Looking forward to a good day of travel today and meeting up with friends. I'm ready. I'll see you down the road. Guys, almost there. I'm 1.5 miles from the campground. It's been a nice drive. So good to be behind the wheel and traveling again. Loving every bit of it. All right, I will show you a little bit more as we get there. Okay, so here we are. Have to put in the code. Stay right there.
Just be kinky.
Yes.
So, Ken, you want to tell your story about how you and Carla met?
Yeah, I drove a semi, and I was delivering food to different places, and Carla was the manager of this place, and I was delivering food to that building, and that's when I met her, and I thought, and she was actually about half drunk. She was sitting on a stool.
Was she managing at the time?
Yes, she was. She was sitting on this table, kind of rocking back and forth, and I thought, well, she's hot, but I believe she's drunk. So I left, and one day I'm driving my truck down the highway, and all of a sudden, you know how Mother Nature will say, we need to stop.
Now.
And like, yeah, and you got them cold chills, you know, on your head, and you're thinking, I got to stop. This thing is not going to stay. And so I get out of the truck, and I'm just totally relaxed there, and she pulls up beside me, and in her car, her Mustang, and she said, do you have trouble? And I thought, no, but maybe I do. and so undoubtedly she must have liked what she saw, because the next week I went to deliver food. She says, big boy, you want to go out? And I'm not saying she liked what she saw, but I went and picked her up. She had a see-through blouse on. And I'm trying to be a Christian man, and I thought, I got to watch out here. This could be Sodom and Gomorrah.
We're both nurses. And I'm working at Vanderbilt Hospital in Nashville. And we were working the night shift. And we were using a lot of staff nurses. And
These are known as agency nurses.
agency nurses, yeah.
And
Because
we
we were
she
short
meant.
staffed. So we had he was an LPN. And we had some other LPNs that we had been having, and they were just like, did they even go to school? They were that dumb.
Wow.
So I remember him walking on to the floor that night for the shift to start, and I'm looking, well, I wonder what this one's going to be like. I found out he kind of knew his stuff.
A little bit.
And your first impression of me was in the break room, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I recall, I think if I remember what you said was I was complaining about the guy who I either was kind of dating or had just dumped or something like that. I was talking to my best friend, my co-worker, and that was his first encounter with me.
Yeah, there we go.
You know how us girls talk. Yeah. So anyway, you know, working a few shifts, going out to breakfast in the morning kind of led to 35 years of marriage.
My version or his version? Yeah. Because they're different.
Well, they're just
She
point of
just
view.
asked me to marry her, and I said, okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot that part. We're coming back from a trip, and next thing I know is she sits there and looks at me and says, "We're gonna get married next year."
I did not.
Okay.
I laid my cards on the table. I told you I loved you and I wanted to spend the rest of my life with you.
And I
And
said-
I thought, well, I'll just see what his response is.
So I said, "When do you want to get married?"
And that was as romantic as it was.
Yeah, then we got married about a year and a half later.
So, me and Brian are 21st century couple. We met online.
Yeah.
Actually,
In the 90s.
in the 90s.
Wow.
Really? Hey, but I got one for you here. So we had not seen each other before we went on our first date, and I had put on some high heels. I was just going to dress up to the hilt. He knocked on the door, and I looked through it, and I could see eyes looking back at me, and I realized he was short. So the first thing I did was kick off them shoes. Where he ended up being 2 inches taller than me. But tell him about how you proposed, or I proposed to you. If you go ahead.
Oh, God.
Remember, we're sitting on the couch with
On the
dog
couch with a dog
in
between us watching TV.
TV.
Yeah, that was romantic there now. I didn't even have a ring.
Wait. What kind of dog was it?
It was a Shih
Shih
Tzu.
Tzu.
And supposedly you asked me to marry you, and I said, what? You know, because it was so unromantic. We're right in there in the middle.
And no ring.
And
I
no
didn't
ring.
even have a
He didn't
ring.
have
I
a
just said,
ring.
no. I didn't.
And so we've been married, 23, it'll be 23 years this year. We didn't get married till we were in our late 30s.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
So,
in my late 30s.
First marriage for both.
First marriage.
First and last.
Very
Right.
cool.
Well, I hope that's to be determined.
So, how did you meet?
Oddly enough, we met on AOL
Oh my God.
Yeah, well,
back in the day.
Back in the
Good
day.
old dial-up days.
Oh yeah.
We were both recently divorced, and Kevin was living in Arizona, I was living in Illinois, and we met on AOL in a chat room and got to talking, and well, it kind of took off from there, didn't it? He came and visited me on Labor Day, and we just hit it off. And I ended up moving down to Arizona and living with him, and
The rest,
took off from there. The rest is
the
history.
rest is history.
What she didn't say is they met in the S&M.
Wasn't there like a
No one proposed.
And that's true. And
9-month
that's true.
separation period?
That's true. I mean, we were together for a little while, and then we moved back up to Illinois, and we
That's
did
interesting.
split up for 8 months. We split up for 8 months, and then I realized how much I missed him and our kids.
Oh.
So,
all right.
and yeah, the rest is history. We got
So,
back
how did he
together.
propose to you?
She proposed
Did
to
you?
me.
Yeah, I think I proposed to him.
She proposed to me.
Really?
She said, "Look, damn it, I don't want you to leave
Well,
again."
it was one of those deals where it's like, look, I am not going to do this thing. You know, I'm going to be a full wife, a full mother, and I'm doing it all or nothing.
You're right.
You know, that's it.
Good deal.
You know, so And yeah, now the rest is history.
Now the rest is history.
And we're both on our third marriage.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, so it's time to stop.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah,
That's
once you get past 20 years, that's it.
Yeah.
At the time, and everybody we knew hung around together, and we were best of friends. So it's just something simple as we hit it off and been together ever since. The marriage part, I just said, hey, you want to get married on Valentine's Day?
And what did I tell you?
Nope.
I said no, can we sleep on it?
Yeah. So it ended up being February 21st.
Yeah.
Nothing special, just
So how much lead time did you give her to get ready? Like, was it the 13th when you said Valentine's Day was the next day?
well, it's basically that way.
Yeah.
The sad thing is we were a member of the Eagles Club at the time, and we did all the catering, everything
Your 10
for
minutes
the
is
wedding.
Yeah.
And when we got married, her sister was doing everybody was saying that it was so screwed up. The guy marrying us there was a lady marrying us, and she called us other people to where her stepfather actually was there saying, I do.
Yeah.
And they were accusing me of actually marrying her sister. So it was all
my goodness.
messed up.
Oh, goodness.
Wow.
Don't let drunks marry you.
Did you inspect your...
I'm on. Well, I met my husband as a blind date. And it was actually, he was not my date.
And was he blind?
There was 3 of us girls, and one of my best friends at the time was dating a guy who was friends with Mike, and then there was another guy, and so Pam had a twin sister, so they set them up with the nicer guys, and they wanted to stick me with the other guy. Well, Mike wasn't having it. So by the end of the date, I ended up being with Mike, and we dated for a while, and then he actually proposed to me a couple of different times, promised me a house in Florida, and then he got cold feet and ran off.
Oh my!
God.
And I didn't see him again for 10 years.
Wow.
And at that time, I'd already been married and divorced, and then we rekindled our relationship, and the rest is history.